So now we're going to find some pieces that are called quartiles. So we're going to find the first quartile. So this is quartile 1. Quartile 1 would basically be the median of the lower half of numbers. Okay, the median of the lower half of numbers. So I'm looking at this section down here, the stuff below our current median, and I want to find the median of those numbers, the middle of those numbers. Well, the middle of those numbers occurs right here, between the 17 and the 21, or 2 to the left, to the right of that. So in order to calculate a median when the middle is between two numbers, you just average the numbers. You take the mean of the two numbers. So I'm going to take 17 plus 21 and divide that by 2. So that's 38 divided by 2. My quartile 1 is going to be 19. All right, I'm going to move some of this stuff. There we go. That'll give me a little bit more space. All right, so hopefully that all makes sense. Mean, median, first quartile. Okay, then technically, quartile 2, this would be, quartile 1 is the lowest, it's the dividing line to the lowest 25% of numbers, the lowest quarter. That's why it's called a quartile. Quartile 2 would be the lowest 50% of numbers. So if you think about that a little bit, you might come up with understanding that quartile 2 is the exact same thing as the median. Oops, and I just wrote the wrong number. 31, there we go. So quartile 2 and the median are the exact same thing. All right, quartile 3 would be the median of the upper half of numbers. So quartile 3 is going to be the median of those numbers, which again, there's 4 of them. So I want to find the middle of those 4, and that means I'm going to be averaging 32 and 32, which happens to be 32. So quartile 3 is 32. Okay, so I have my quartile 1, my quartile 2, my quartile 3, and then quartile 4. Q4 is the highest number you have in your data set, which in our case is 34. Okay. And basically, if you think about it, quartile 3 is kind of the dividing line between the middle 50 to 75% and the upper 25% of the whole data set that you have. So this is anything between quartile 3, quartile 4 are going to be your upper 25%. Okay, so if I were to maybe get rid of all this junk right here, I can show you that, all right, so we had our dividing line right here. That's where quartile 2 is. Here's where quartile 1 was. Here's where quartile 3 is. And so this is a lower 25%. That's the next 25%, so that's 25 to 50%. This is 50 to 75%, and this is 75 to 100% of the data. The top, if you will, the lower lower middle, upper middle, and upper values in the data. All right, so those are the quartiles.